Well, hello Instagram and happy Thursday. So happy to be joining all of you again on a Thursday night for what we hope is going to be a really fun and informative live. Hi Team Rev Air. Ava's Priority, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Liz Meyer. Respect my pretty. Indeed, I will. Thanks for being here. Be Naturally Glam. Great to see you. So happy. Hi, Michelle. So happy to see you guys. Really glad to have you all here. 90s Bunny is here. Brown Sugar is always here, and I love it. Hello, hello. I'm so happy. You're joining from France? How amazing. Thank you for joining all the way from France. I cannot wait till the day that we're actually available there. I know that everybody there is really wondering when we're going to get there, and we want to get there too. Obviously, in this COVID world, manufacturing has changed. So, any plans that we had to expand into other countries, right now we're just trying to service the US and Canada at the moment, but make sure you sign up for our e-blast because they'll tell you when we've added a new territory. New York in the house. Hopefully you are thawing out from all that snow that came your way. Unbothered. What a good handle. Show off the engagement ring. Okay, there you go. If you insist. Right? Get our money's worth out of it that I show it off. Well, I am so happy to have you guys here. You show up for me and for Ladosha every Thursday at 7 o'clock. We will be here. Tonight we have a fun topic, and while researching the topic, I learned a lot, and I'm sure Ladosha is going to put some of the myths to rest for me. And then also, we have a big announcement. That's how I'll say it. We have a big announcement. So I'm super excited for all of you to be here. I know in the past we've been seeing some kind of troll behavior that has been popping up in the feed. So here's what I'd love to ask you to do is that if you see that, the way we can keep this forum clean and for all of you and it to be a place where we can actually answer your questions and stay on topic. If you see that, hop off real quick, report them, and then hop back in. And then hopefully by that time we will get everybody weeded out. Is that Pat? Is that Pat? You love your Rev Air? I'm so excited to hear that. Very excited, but it does not surprise me because it is really amazing. It is a game changer. It is something that delivers on its promise, which is so different than anything on the marketplace. We're sold a lot of promises when it comes to beauty products, but this one truly delivers. I do see that someone is saying that they have a customer service issue, so we always have support at MyRevAir. It's support@myrevair.com, and you can email them, and we have the best customer engagement team in the business. They're amazing. Oh, you have two, one for home and one for the salon. Bravo, right? Everybody wishes they could have it. Now, I do see somebody saying my one cracked too, so this is a good time to remind everybody that you do not want to use oils in your hair. So no 100% oils. That does not play well with the wand and the plastic of the wand. So be sure that you are not using 100% oils. If it was for another reason, maybe it fell or some other reason, make sure you reach out to support@myrevair.com. Okay. Oh, somebody is going to upload a video, so you guys should be waiting for that video because it seems like we'll have a new review coming our way soon. All right, so tonight's topic is we are going to talk about how being tangle-free is the way to be. It is one of those things that I think is definitely going to incorporate the three things that Ladosha says are the most important and the way you get your hair the way you want it, which is products, tools, and techniques. Those are the three most important things. And so we're going to talk to her about that and why being tangle-free is so important for the health of your hair. So without further ado, I am going to grab Ladosha. Okay, we're waiting for her to join the call, and then I will give her a proper intro. The request has been sent, and I'm sure at any moment she'll be connecting.
Woo!
Hello, hello.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Yes, France is in the house, so very well played. So I am wanting to introduce you properly now that they have your face on the screen. So everybody, this is Ladosha Wright, and she is the right stuff for this job. She here is our resident Rev Air expert. She is a trichologist, a stylist, a colorist, an educator, an advocator, an author, a product developer, and is even coming out with her own nail polish line. Everybody welcome Ladosha Wright.
Hey, woo, woo,
Let's
woo,
see
woo,
some
woo.
clapping hands in the comments. Clapping hands in the
Woo, woo,
comments.
woo, woo, woo,
So,
woo.
Ladosha, before we jump in, I just want to tell everybody to make sure you hang in there tonight because we have a really big announcement and you are not going to want to miss it, folks. So, hang in there because a big announcement is coming. Okay, Ladosha. Now, I told everybody we were going to be talking about how important the right products, tools, and techniques are because you've taught me those are the three pillars of having like really great hair.
That's
And
all it takes.
so, I wanted to start with why is being tangle free so important to the health of your hair from like a health trichologist perspective, not just because it looks better, but what are the real reasons behind it from a health perspective?
Well, the most important reason why it's essential to have tangle-free hair is because of your texture. So a lot of people, their number one concern about doing anything to their hair is what could possibly compromise either my texture or my length or the way it feels. And then, believe it or not, last would be looks. So people would rather have their hair looking bad than to have their hair, the texture is being lost, it's breaking, they're losing their length. So I can have a messy bun, but I want
Yeah.
my hair. I can have it jacked up, it ain't gotta be, but I want my hair. So that's really the most important thing is that you want to preserve the integrity of your hair. And when your hair is very tangled,
Right. Well, that took us into what I thought would be a fun way to start before we get into kind of the seriousness of it, which is let's each tell a tangle horror story. Okay,
oh,
I'll start.
oh,
So when I was a little girl, my mom had her friends over like after work to do something, and I'm sure they were drinking wine or whatever, and so they wanted me to probably be quiet, and I was just like wanting to play along, because my mom's friends were there. So my mom had a friend with really long hair, and she was letting me brush her hair just so that I'd be quiet, and I'd put like my barrettes and stuff in it. Well, I was brushing her hair with like a round brush, and like by the end it was completely tangled, like none of the adults could get it out. So she ended up like having to cut her hair, and it was like a total horror story. My mom always reminds me that I did that to her friends. So
yeah, yeah,
tell
yeah.
us one from your perspective.
So here's what happened. So my mom left me to putting my hair in a ponytail. And so but it was so like 10 times nene. And so she was teaching me how to do it in sections. And so I decided that I would just dip the brush in water and just brush it on top. I would not comb it. And so this must have went on for like about a week. And then when my mom decided to test to see how I had done, my hair smelled like a mop. It was so matted. And it was just like, oh my God, it was unbelievable. And my mother was like, Ladosha. And I was just like, so yeah, so I ratted up my own hair, not combing it out and dipping this brush in water. I just kept brushing and it smelled like, it was just beyond putrid, beyond putrid.
Well, I totally think everybody has a tangle story at some point in their life, whether it's from when they were a child or some crazy contraption they tried on their hair that just ended up tangling it up. And I do know oftentimes people think RevAir will give you tangles, but we had a woman on YouTube, and you guys will all have to go check it out. She did the Rev Air versus a regular vacuum. I'm putting her hair in there, and one turns out like a rat's nest and one doesn't. So I will let you guess which. You should head over to YouTube, search for Rev Air versus vacuum, and you should be able to find that review and check it out. So
Whoa.
we're going to talk tonight about tangles, and we're going to talk about product, tools, techniques. And I think if we're starting kind of in that order, we should talk about what's the best way to prep your hair. What products are best to help with detangling?
Okay, so before you begin, I got here's Nene, not
Hi, Nene.
so here's
Not
Nene.
Nene.
Yeah, not
Nene.
Nene. So tangle hair can be, very long. It can be very textured. We don't want you guys to think that only the Nenes in the world have tangled hair. So our hair can become tangled. But the best way to prep the hair for any tangling is to start off with a low pH leave-in conditioner. Do not use water, especially if you have hair like Nene. Okay, so that's the first thing to start off with. Is a nice leave-in conditioner. They might say like detangling conditioner or something like that. So either or, that's the first way. Before you pick up the comb, please start off with a product that's going to lower the pH, and that loosens the tangles before you even put the comb in it, believe it or not.
So I want to play a little game of true or false. When I was doing some research to learn about things that basically contribute to whether you get tangles or not, it said a few things. So before we hop into any other sections, let's talk about these things. 3 things, true or false. Harsh products make you get tangles.
Harsh products, yes, they can definitely make you get tangles because they build up and they make the hair do something kind of.
Is that the technical term?
Yeah.
That was on the trichologist test.
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. The next one, true or false, massaging too hard while you shampoo can create tangles.
Whoa, yeah, that's the number one stunner. What?
Number one stunner.
What?
Okay, and the next one, so before you would put on a leave-in conditioner or your detangling spray, before you would do those things, you would have to towel dry your hair. This says that rubbing your hair with a towel is more likely to cause tangles than dabbing it. True or false?
Absolutely, 100% true.
All right,
So
so
those
now,
are true.
so that's good. That's good. The internet didn't sway me wrong in this case because oftentimes it does. I'm like, do I have a broken finger? No, you have cancer, right? It's like, it always points, WebMD always points me to, I'm dying. So thank goodness they didn't lead me that way when I said, do I have tangled hair? Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about how to detangle the hair. I know that our Bright Spot Shine Spray is amazing. And while we talk about using it after to create shine in the hair, you can actually use it beforehand as an amazing detangler. And then we have this little thing. Why don't you tell us about what kind of comb you should use? Probably
Now,
the right comb.
The right comb. So mine's got a little color on it because I'm in a hair salon.
Yeah. And tell us about how you do it, whether you start at the bottom or you start at the root.
All right. So I'm going to bring to my little camera down a little bit. So when it comes to detangling the hair, remember, you do not want to start off with water. So you're going to start off with your favorite, detangling conditioner. So I'm going to use Deca. All right. Okay. So you want to get the hair nice and saturated. A lot of times people will just do like this, or sometimes people will put it in their hair and they'll rub it. Remember, rubbing is going to cause the cuticles to lift and the hair will tangle more. So don't touch it, just get it in there.
Okay,
Now,
so you just led the way to something that I learned about. So I was trying to figure out what causes tangles, as I said, and it gave me those things. But it's the actual, I'm going to sound like a trichologist right now. It's the actual outer layer of the hair, which is the cuticle, and it either becomes damaged or opens up. And when those layers open up,
they catch one another and intertwine, and that's what causes a tangle. So it's almost like kind of like barbed wire. It's like pulling things into it, and then it creates a larger tangle. Is that right?
Absolutely,
Awesome.
100%.
Okay,
Right.
keep
Now,
going.
if you start off, a lot of people might start off, something like this, okay? So you're going to spray it down, and now you're like this. Now, if you have a lot of knots in the hair, you want to break the knots up. Don't start off with the comb, so take your fingers, and if you get a real, like, serious tangle, just spray the conditioner, and you see what's happening? Look at that. It just slides out. So no matter how matted that hair is, like Crystal said, that product is going to seal the cuticle, and then the tangles, I swear, guys, they're automatically going to, well, not automatically, but eventually they'll start to loosen up, all right? And then the next thing you want to do is you want to start detangling from the scalp. I actually did a video just going on YouTube, watching person after person starting their detangling process right here. So this is like a method to the madness gone wrong. So the hair is weakest. So if you start your detangling down here, you're going to rip the hair. So your hair is actually the strongest at the regrowth. You guys call it roots, but at the regrowth or root area. So you want to begin to bring your tangles down. So this is why the right comb is going to help in the event you have very long hair like Crystals or very dense hair like Nene, because the comb can actually get through. And once you get the tangle down, you're going to put your fist around it really tight and begin to work it down.
So you talked about you can absolutely ask a question in just one moment. I saw somebody says, I don't want to interrupt. You're not interrupting. These lives are for you. So let me ask mine, and then you place yours in there, and I'm happy to answer it. So one of the things you've mentioned on past lives, and I don't want anybody to miss, and I know that I'm not going to be able to say it like you, but the space between.
Yes.
Why is that so important? Like what's better? Tighter, wider? What works better?
Right. So here's what happens. And let me get a wide tooth comb. I think I got one. Okay, yeah, I got one here. Okay. So here's the thing. When you use a wide tooth comb, you are leaving all the hair in between there not tangled.
Okay.
So now the hair is ineffectively detangled, and then you're going to really start to snatch your texture, especially over a period of time. In the beginning, it's going to seem like, oh, okay, but some years of using this comb, eventually you're going to lose the texture because you're not really thatching the hair. As you can see, there's a lot of hair left in between that's not combed out.
Okay, so you don't want something that is too fine, and you don't want something that's too wide. It's like Goldilocks. You need something that's just right, and that happens to be the right comb. So it's perfect. Okay, the question that they were asking below that I want to make sure that we answer quickly, and then we hop back into the detangling process with comb, is that you asked about the filter. The filter is actually something that you can wash in your sink, or you can wash it in your dishwasher, believe it or not. It's dishwasher safe. So you are able to reuse it. It does not need to be replaced immediately. It is not something that's going to go bad because it's actually made to be dishwasher safe. So what I do with mine is I take the hair out of it. I kind of rinse it through. I actually use Dawn because I figure if Dawn dish soap is good enough for like ducks with oil on them in the commercials, it's good enough for my filter. So I take a toothbrush and I just brush this, and then I set mine out to air dry. I live in a 100-year-old house, so I do not have a dishwasher. You're looking at the dishwasher. And so, and also I don't know if I'd want to put it in my dishwasher because, you know, food. But anyway, so that's how I do it. Now, we also have, once it's dry, you can put it back into your device. Just make sure this little nub here matches into the exact place, because otherwise the device will not start.
Yeah.
We also have these that we've added. They have a technical name. I call them the filter. And these protect your filter for even longer. And so what happens is, just like there's a nub here to make sure that the door will close and the device will start, you can see right there, there's a little bit of a plastic piece, and this is shaped to go there, and you just slide it in, and this becomes a filter. A filter, that's it, a filter, to make sure that if you do use detanglers, leave-in conditioners, those sorts of things, that will protect this even longer. So great question. However, we do have people that work in salons or have large families, and since this device is, you know, is like one size fits all, and they find they're using theirs more often, we do sell filters on their own, so you can always make sure that you kind of have one on hand.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. And no, Rev Air does not come with the filter. That was something that we invented after the Rev Air. After the Rev Air came out, we thought, well, here's another line of protection. But they are available on our site, and the price is not high, and you get a couple of them. So I think you'll enjoy them. So, okay, so you were talking to us about detangling from the root down, and that's because that's where the healthiest, strongest hair is, and not
Absolutely.
at the end. Okay. Anything else you want to add to that part before we move on to the next section?
Yeah, so just also you want to tilt your head the opposite way. Sometimes when people comb their detangle, they have a tendency to want to, you know, go with the comb. You don't want to do that. You want to use resistance, and that's going to help exercise that muscle underneath so it won't hurt. So for all you tender-headed people, make sure you or your child or your loved one is going in the opposite direction. So you're in and your head is going that way, and then you're going to put your fist around it and then work the tangle down. So that will definitely help with all my tender-headed people.
Awesome. Okay, and I did see people that are just popping on. Don't worry, you didn't miss the big announcement. We have a big announcement coming up very soon, so you're going to want to stay tuned. And we also understand that you have to work and that sometimes this isn't the perfect time, so we always save these on our page, and you can go back and watch them in their entirety later. So, okay. Somebody said, can you recommend some detanglers? So I recommended our Bright Spot Shine Spray. Say that 10 times fast. This is a product you can use at the very end for shine, but you can also use it as a detangler. What other detanglers do you recommend?
Right. So for those of you who have the Rev Air, and maybe you have the Wave Goodbye, and you have your mister. Now remember, you can take like just 2 pumps, because this has a low pH, and just shake it up, and so you've made your own. So you don't have to always keep, you know, hopping online and buy stuff, because remember, these go lives are not about trying to sell you stuff. So if you have the stuff at home, come on guys, let's put a little weird science hat on, and just like 1 or 2 pumps, shake it up, and then that's going to be your detangler, and you're good to go. But if you're like, no, I want to spend some money, I like spending money, then we don't have any problem. If you like spending money, then you can buy some of this. Or I like the Deca Satin Tame, because it has keratin in it, and it also has collagen, and it has mink, so it softens the water. So Deca leave-in, it also treats the water, but as well as it treats the hair. So this is thebomb.com, and that retails for about $13. And then you can also get, now I know this, y'all ain't gonna believe this, but I do have my own line of products.
What?
And
you don't do anything. You don't do anything extra.
Yeah, did you get my package? Okay, all right. All right, so this right here It's my EMT, and it's called Everyday Miracle Treatment. And you can buy this at the Amazon store. And I ain't even trying to brag, but for real, y'all, this is the bomb.com, and this retails for just 20 bucks. So all of these products, if
Her
you're
products are
shampooing your,
amazing.
yeah,
Absolutely. They're in my shower right now.
yeah, so if you're shampooing your hair weekly, then you're gonna all these, each bottle would last you about 3 months. Nobody's buying, I hope, leave-in conditioner every month. I don't care how much hair you have, you ain't gonna use that much. So these are like 8 ounces, are pretty much 3 months supply. So this one here is about 3 ounces. So you're gonna seriously, you'll get about 3 months out of this, because this is richer. This is definitely better, okay, of the three.
Okay. Well, okay, so we had a couple of other questions I want to answer really quick, and then I want to make sure we move through what we have because there is just so much to talk about, and then we have the big news. So let me ask the other questions. The other one is, can you recommend a heat protectant that is fragrance free?
A heat protectant. Now, y'all got to understand now. These folks is trying to
And this
get
is
y'all.
for Steph, who got her Rev Air today. So congratulations on that, everybody. Give
Okay,
her a
so I'm gonna say
hand.
so heat protectants and leave-in conditioner.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we lost your audio.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, I'm sorry.
we
Can you hear me
lost you
now?
at the most important part. It was heat protectants and leave-in
So
conditioners are.
are synonymous. They're the same thing. They just call them differently to get your money because they both buff the heat. So please do not go out and waste any money on a thermal protectant unless you just like to layer stuff on. Some people are really into layering products, and that's what that's all about. And some people just have that fear. But every single hair company on the planet is going to tell you that their leave-in conditioner is a thermal protectant. So ethically and professionally, and then of course, personally, I'm going to say, that's why I'm going to say, can y'all spell that word? I'm going to say.
I'm say.
I'm going to say, don't
Mama say,
waste your
mama sa,
money.
uma usa. Is that how
There
it's
you
spelled?
go. Don't waste your money on a thermal protectant. Now, some people are not using leave-in conditioners because they think they make their hair too soft. And so if you buy the thermal protectant, then don't buy the leave-in conditioner. But the drawback is the thermal protectant cannot detangle, whereas the detanglers can do what? Detangle and protect your hair from the heat.
So what I'm going to ask you, Ladosha, is people are asking for your product recommendations. So after we post this on our page, if maybe you can hop in and like type up a comment so that everybody can see it once we post this at the end. I will answer one more question from the thread before we hop on to the next one, and that is, last week you said something about not using hard water on your hair. And the person was saying if you are drinking that water and using it to cook and other things, isn't that going to kind of affect your hair anyway? So thoughts on that? And then about aloe
No,
vera.
so
I
yeah,
think it was that was
right.
the other
So
part of the
drink,
question.
yeah. So drinking tap water. Now I'm not a endocrinologist or anything like that. But when you drink tap water, you have a filter, you have a spleen, you have a kidney, so you have a gallbladder, so you have a filtration system built in your body to help do what? Catch those
Okay.
minerals. Now it's no big secret that if you get too many of those minerals in the body, you're going to have some issues, all right? But for the most part in America, well, maybe not if you live in Detroit, not trying to be funny, that water was toxic. But
Yeah.
for the most part, the water in America is safe to drink. Now, if you're in that situation like Detroit, that's not a joke. And that water was very, very toxic. And that's the
It's
epitome
awful.
of the example of when you have heavy minerals such as lead in the water. So if you're living in a community where the water is safe to drink, then it's going to be okay. If you're living in a community where it's not, like in that part of Detroit, then you know that they're giving out the water. They don't want you guys drinking it. So in those instances, it may not just be Detroit. You could be living in anywhere in America where the water system is compromised. Then no, don't drink the water. And of course, don't wash your hair with it. And I work with people personally. We serviced a lot of people from Detroit. As a matter of fact, we did free hairstyles for people who were coming up from Detroit. So that's a very, very
That's
good
so good of
question.
you.
Yeah, so that's a
Good of you.
very good question.
So we're going to keep moving on, but if you have particular hair-related questions as well, you can tag Ladosha on our page and she will hop over and answer your question, or you can head over to her pages and she will tell you all about what those are. But next I want to move on to, we talked about product and what we can do. We need to talk tools. So I asked you to bring a blow dryer and I am going to show you guys the Rev. So here's what we want to demonstrate tonight is the difference between Rev Air and a blow dryer with regard to how it helps to avoid tangles by using Rev Air. Now, people would think that by using Rev Air, you would get more tangles. People think your hair's being sucked in here and it must be floating around. That is not what happens. Actually, this took 4 years to develop, and in here, it flies in midair and it does not flap about, which would cause split ends, and it does not coil the air. The air is consistent and it uses that tension to keep the hair straight and hanging in the air so that you can in fact do your roots to the ends all at one time. Now, that makes it so much more ideal than, say, a blow dryer, because what's a blow dryer do? It blows, and it also means that you have to use a brush. Now, a lot of where hair shine comes from is that you are looking at hair alignment. Hair alignment doesn't mean that your hair has to be straight. Even people with beautiful stretched or coiled or curly hair, as long as all the strands are aligned and going in that same pattern, that's when you see shine. That's where that comes from. So a lot of the shine that you will see is not just because of the hair health, which Rev Air by far exceeds other products, but it is because it allows your hair to be in hair alignment. So here is what we're going to show you. So Ladosha, I'm going to have you show Nini and just how blown around and how it takes 2 hands to do that. And I'm going to go ahead. Somebody said, how much electricity does it use? It uses half the wattage of a normal blow dryer. Half.
Half, Eddie. Half.
Okay.
Half, Eddie.
Half, Eddie. I want half. Okay. Here we go. I want half, Eddie. I want half. you liked it. I liked that one, right? Okay, so here's just a piece. Wait. I think I lost Ladosha. Where are you, Ladosha?
I'm still laughing.
Eddie, I want half, Eddie. Girl, I used to listen to those tapes all the time, and that's when we used tapes, not CDs, tapes. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. That's a good one. I want half, Eddie. Okay, here we go. I want half. Okay, so I'm not showing you this to dry my hair. Obviously, my hair is already dry, so nobody write to me that your hair was already dry when you put it in there. I'm showing you from an alignment perspective. Okay, so here we go. Hair goes into the device, and I'm going to let you see how Ladosha's having to do it. She's doing it with a nozzle that is trying to spray the hair, but you don't have a stylist at home. So you have to work with how you can do it. She's also having to use a brush, which means she's pulling and pulling at the hair again. And we all know that friction can create breakage.
My fingers.
And her fingers. And she's having to use 2 hands while I'm over here single-handedly saying, Eddie. So here we go. I want to show you guys. This is how the hair is aligned using the tension in Rev Air. You see how much work she's doing over there, and you see how much harder it's going to be for her to get alignment. And she's a stylist. Now think about you trying to get alignment at home. let the tension of the Rev Air, and what's Rev Air stand for? Reverse air. And what's reverse air? A fancy name for suction. Let that do the work for you, and it is a game changer. Again, look how hard she's working. Look how easy this is for me. It's that fast.
Can I point out that's just
Yes.
one half to one fourth to one half an inch, and she's already done. So I'm telling y'all,
Because when you're using a blow dryer, you get to do this much at a time, all the way down the strand. The hair is blowing about. You're over directing it. Look at the shine it's created.
Yeah.
That's what hair alignment does. If my hair were curly, so long as the curl pattern were all in alignment, it's still shiny. And so that's where the difference comes into play.
Right. And then
so when we talk about the right products and the right tools, boy, do we have the right tools.
Right. And also, somebody's asking about split ends. See, with the blow dryer, with hair this dense, you would have to section this about, 2 times. The Rev Air is 3 by 3. So you're getting triple action with the Rev Air. And remember, the hair is floating. So you're never going to have split ends with the Rev Air, provided the hair is prepped properly. So with the blow dryer, if I'm coming on top with this thick of a section, I'm smoothing here. That looks really good. But when you lift underneath, look what? It's not even dry. So I see a lot of people, doing this, and they're coming, and they're going up, and this, and then they're complaining. The Rev Air is heavy. Trust me, holding that wand ain't got nothing on this and all of this.
I feel like if you say the Rev Air is heavy, you're carrying the base unit, and you don't need to do that. So you just need to carry the wand. If you feel like it's heavy, it means you need to brace the hose with the other hand. And guess what? You have a second hand to do that, because you don't need to have a brush in your hand, which is what's so fantastic. Right. The other thing I will say is, and that leads us to split ends thing, is it leads us to tangles are often caused by split ends. So keeping your hair trimmed is super important. So I will tell people about the Rev Air device. There are 7 numbers on the tension dial. When my hair is freshly cut, I can do a 4. Right now, when it's been months since my last haircut, because salons are closed here in California and my ends are all scraggly, I'm using a 3. There might be certain places on your head you use a different number, but the truth of the matter is that it's what your hair can tolerate. If you are getting tangles, you have it turned up too high, or you need a trim. Those are the 2 things. Or you're pumping. No pumping.
Right. Or the other thing too is that some people, when they put the conditioners, a lot of people will start the conditioning process from here. I watch a lot of videos, and whenever I ask my customers to demonstrate how do you put the conditioner in your hair, everybody pumps it, rubs it, and they go here. So you want to put the conditioner on the ends first. Always do that. So sometimes if you're feeling that brittleness, it's usually because you don't have any product, or the hair isn't combed out. And then some people, I hate to say it, but maybe the hair isn't cleansed properly. So dirty hair, I don't care if it's Rev Air, blow dry, or just air dry. No, it's not going to work.
Shampoo is for scalps. Conditioner is for ends. And that's how you think of it. So you apply to each place first. So we've talked about that. We've talked about the technique of using a brush and how you really don't have to be a stylist to know how to use Rev Air. That is the beauty of it. It's like having a stylist at home, but you don't have to figure out how to use it. So a couple of other hints, and then we are going to talk about our big news.
And then I'll ask that question about aloe vera after that.
Okay.
Someone was begging me to ask about aloe.
True or false, sleeping with your hair down can cause more tangles?
Yeah.
True or false, using a silk pillowcase rather than a cotton pillowcase will cause less tangles?
The thing about it is it depends on your texture. If you have hair like Crystal, you can rock the silk pillowcase. If you have hair like me and Nene, you need cheap satin. And the reason being is because the way that silk is woven, it catches and it'll catch our hair and pull it. Unlike Crystal's hair, when she lays on that silk pillowcase, it'll just slide across. So afro hair, very textured hair, I don't know about them. And if you sweat, then that silk pillowcase is gone. You're going to have some issues. So I would do a cheap satin if you have textured hair. So that's my little,
I wanna take a little poll in the comments. Put an up arrow or a down arrow. Do you sleep with your hair up or down? I am definitely an up girl. I cannot have my hair on the back of my neck when I'm sleeping. It just is too much for me. So everybody up or down. And while you're doing your up and down arrow, Ladosha's going to answer the question about using aloe vera juice on your hair.
Okay, so I get this all the time. Can you put aloe vera juice on your hair? And the answer is you can, but I doubt that by itself, depending on the condition and what you have on your hair, it's kind of iffy. Because if you're putting a lot of, synthetic products on the hair and you're using the aloe vera, to be honest, you're really not going to see any difference. That type of hairstyle is for what I call granola babies. And those people are using organic, paleo, vegan. If you're truly in that lifestyle, then you're going to, fine. But if you're doing what I'm doing, no. If you're washing your hair every 2 weeks, you just put that aloe vera up. Don't even think about it. So it depends on your lifestyle. You're going to see the aloe vera work. I would say eat and, get the aloe vera benefits from consuming it. And if you want to use it as a nourishment, you can add it to your favorite oil or your conditioner, just to kind of, if it'll just make you feel better. But remember now, research. All of you like to do the Google. I tell everybody, don't do Google. Go to Google Scholar so you can pull up the research and dissertations, because people really do write dissertations about this stuff, and then that way you can also get it from like the dermatology community. So watch out for these Google Scholars, because they be kind of off the Richter scale. Y'all watch out for these YouTube scholars, okay? Y'all be careful out here.
Okay. One other question before we tell everybody our big news. Okay. Can you speak about ACV in your hair? I don't know what ACV is. Do you?
ACV is your apple cider vinegar. So again, so apple cider vinegar, it boils down to your regimen. A lot of people, if you have a regular regimen of cleansing your hair, the apple cider vinegar is basically, it lowers the pH. You have to leave it in. So don't rinse it out. People like put it in, rinse it out. Don't do that. So the apple cider vinegar, it makes it more acidic, which makes the hair softer. So you can use it. It does work. Also, if you have dry skin, like the people who living in those compromised water areas, you could just spray your whole body with the ACV mixture, which is typically 7 parts, water, and then 1 part ACV. Don't do 50-50. Please, guys, don't do it. And then just leave it on, and then you'll be good to go. But you can't remove color. You can't remove chemicals. It's just a softener. And so is baking soda. So that's it.
So yes, you can leave in, you can use a leave-in conditioner. No to 100% oils. Use all of your oils after you've revved your hair. Not only will you thank us because it will make sure that your Rev Air stays in wonderful shape, but you'll thank us because you're going to save money on product purchases. So make sure you use your oils at the end. Leave-in conditioner is fine. Okay, if you guys are ready to hear the big news, raise your hand in the comments. Let's see who raises their hand if they're ready for the big news. I'm waiting for some hands.
Hip hop hooray!
You're very welcome. We're here to answer your questions. Who's gonna raise their hand? Hip hip hop, hip hip hop, hip hip hop, hooray. Okay. Okay, you guys, so here it is. I'm seeing hands raised, so let's go for it. Let's talk about it. You guys, we are having our first giveaway of 2021. Who's excited? Hit that heart button. We should be seeing lots of hearts now.
I'm dead.
Okay. Let's do it. You guys, we are doing, you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it Valentine's Day. You can call it Galentine's Day. You can call it Palentine's Day, because we don't care if your besties are men, women, anybody can do this contest. So we are going to have a Valentine's contest. So pretty. Okay, we're having a Valentine's contest, and we are going to be featuring best friends for RevAir. Best friends for RevAir. And here's how it goes. You will get a Rev Air, and so will your best friend. Oh, that's how this one is going. So, one entry per person. You will follow us on Instagram, TikTok, which we're new to, and YouTube. And you will tag a friend, your best friend, in the comments. You want your friend to do it too? Make sure they put you as the person in the comments. And you can even get an extra entry. You'll go to our bio and you'll see what you need to do to get that extra entry. So again, US and Canada, 18 and over. All the details will be hitting our story as soon as I hit the end button on this. And so you want to choose your best friend wisely. Good job, Team Rev Air. That's true. Make sure you choose your best friend wisely. It is going to be the best friend for RevAir contest. And next Thursday, in anticipation of the Day of Love, Valentine's, we are going to announce the winner. So you're going to want to be here. Okay, well, without further ado, I will just once again mention that all of the details will be on our wall here on Instagram as well as in our stories. So make sure you head over to get those details. Also, you're going to want to make sure that you choose your best friend wisely, not only because of the Rev device, but because life is hard and you should have a really good best friend. So she's got Nene, I've got KK, my best friend Carrie, so I'm a lucky girl. And we will be here next week, same time on Thursdays. We will be here at 7 p.m. Eastern. But I do want you guys to all join me on Tuesday of next week at 7 p.m. Eastern. We are going to have Ariana Davis on. She is the digital director for Oprah Magazine, and she just wrote an amazing new book. And we are going to have a little book chat and a little hair chat, and we'll be revving live. She and myself will rev live so you can see us do our hair, talk about books, talk about Oprah. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure you guys are there. Our Instagram handle, YouTube, and TikTok are all at MyRevAir. And Ladosha, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you before we log off here?
Yeah, so you can check me out on YouTube, which, by the way, I just uploaded a video on, is the Rev Air worth it? Everybody go check it out.
Is it worth it? Let me work it.
That's right, so go check that out. Also, remember that my podcast has been voted by FeedSpot as the top 25 hairstylist podcast to listen to in 2021, and it is affectionately titled, What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon. And the books, of course, are available on Amazon and at Elrite Books. And I just found out today that both books are available at Walmart and Target.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Do I get to say I knew you when? I knew her when. Don't worry, I have all these videos to blackmail you. You'll always know me. Eddie. Okay, so why don't you sign us off? Tell everybody where they can find you, Instagram handle-wise or website.
All right, so of course, if you just go on Instagram, you can just type in Miss MS Ladosha and everything will pop up. Or if all else fails, you can Google Ladosha Wright and everything will pop up except who? my
Yo,
baby,
baby
my
daddy.
baby daddy. He will not pop up, okay? All right, and I think that's it.
All right. Well, go ahead and sign us off.
All right, so thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see
Thank
you next
you.
week. We're going to announce the winner, correct? So we're going to
Hmm.
announce the winner next week. And you know what we say when we're always signing out? We're talking about a whole lot of love, a whole lot of peace, and a whole lot of hair. That's right, a whole lot of hair. And if you ain't got no hair, don't want no hair, can't grow no hair, as a matter of fact, you can't stand it, you plan on cutting it off in 2021, Crystal and I, we say, don't worry about it. Why? Because bald heads are beautiful
Beautiful
too.
too. Bye, you guys. See you next week.
Bye.
And
Bye,
enter
Eddie.
to win.
That's right. Bye, Eddie. Half.
So,
Half.
Eddie, I want half. I want half, Eddie. Bye. Hey, no, that's what they're gonna say when they get the package of 2 devices. The best friend's gonna go, Eddie, I want half, Eddie. Okay.